So today's little video is going to be a back to basics breeding project, and we're going to keep it simple by picking a popular tetra. So if you want to see how I get on with this little project, stick around, it's coming up. So I've got this little tank going spare in a minute, so what I shall do is, don't know what's going on with that. There we go. What I shall do is I shall go and pick some tetras, get them acclimatized to the water in here, then I will quarantine them here for a couple of days, and then we'll start the project. So what I'm thinking is start small with something like a Cardinal tetra. Plus I could do with some more Cardinal tetras on the go for the tank upstairs with the discus, because they do look good. So let's go buy some new fish. So that's us back from the LFS, and I was quite tempted, as you'll see, by some rummy nose, but I stuck to my guns and I went for 6 cardinals, 3 male, 3 female. We'll get them quarantined. So there we go, 6. Now I know what you're thinking, why you bother quarantining them when it's just this species only tank and you're just going to breed them? Well, the reason why I'm doing that is because once I've bred them a few times, I will be putting them back in the tank upstairs. And also, I've got some peat moss on order from Amazon. It was supposed to turn up today, but it hasn't turned up. So what I'm planning on doing is setting up these 2 tanks, this one and this one, is pH of 6, if not a little bit lower, with peat moss and all that sort of stuff, tapper leaves, and all that stuff to get the pH down. I'm going to use my RO water as well, just to get the TDS down. Just roll that down there like that, and then we'll just get them in there for the heat for now. So we'll get them acclimated for just temperature, and then I'll start adding some water from this tank. Now this tank is probably 7, pH is 7, but I don't want to like quickly bring them down in pH, because that's when you tend to lose your fish in the big pH suck. Not so much out in the well, because they will swim through different pHs and different temperatures and things like that, but these are tank bred. They've not had much variation in their life. That's the reason why you tend to do these things, is because they're not caught in the wild where they can put up with a little bit more fluctuation. So I have got 3 females. Oh, he's actually give us 1 extra male. I've got 3 females and 4 males. Like I say, the peat moss is on order, and we'll set both these tanks up as dark water tanks, and we'll take it from there. So I'll get the air pump back on, because I don't want to. I've only just turned it off just because my microphones went, and that in the background takes too much taken out in post-production. We've also got some Christmas moss in one of the tanks up there. We're putting that in as a spawn media. Hopefully I'm going to try to get a few of these tanks on the go. Settle on 2 for now, just take them out and put them in the next one and them spawn. Watch that one and then see what happens. And then if they do, I'll put them in like a holding tank and then see how many it will get. So it's now time to release these into the tank. Go in, so out and about. There. 6 of them in. So while I've got them in here, I can also control the quality of the food and the amount of food. The way we're at it, we'll start off an infusoria culture to feed the fry with. This is so easy to do, and it's ideal for a tiny little fry. basically all you need is some whole vegetables off a Sunday dinner or a dinner, and some established plants from a tank that'll already have infusoria in. And in a few days, you'll just see blooms of white cloudy water full of life. So next we'll do a little montage of setting up the 2 tanks as black water tanks. Run VT. So I've got a bit of spare black background, which I think I'll stick on the tank now, just to highlight the fish, just in case we catch them spawning. Then reset the light so it's like a spotlight on both tanks. So the peat moss turned up, but I thought it was wise to just do a little sample check to see how much it actually drops the pH before I add it to the tank. So for ease and movability, I decided to use an old pair of tights and just do little peat moss bags and put them in. That way, if things go wrong, I want to change things around, I can just take them out, put them elsewhere. So what I'm doing now is I'm just weighing the bags down with a bit of bio rock that I've had established in a tank. That way I'm also adding good bacteria as I'm doing it. So if there's any spikes in ammonia coming leaching out of this peat moss, hopefully I've got the bacteria there ready to use it up. And of course I'll have to add some spawning material, so I'm going to use the Christmas moss. So after flushing my reverse osmosis filter, it's now time to get some RO water on the go. And while I'm at it, I might as well get some TETRAS leaf tea on the go to increase the tannins and turn this into a real black water tank. So that's it, basically set up for tonight. I've lowered the pH down to 6. I've taken away the hardness with some RO water. I've got my Christmas moss in. I've got my extra filter material in here. That should be laden with good bacteria. So if there's any spikes, that should take care of any spikes. Also got the sponge filter in. What I will be doing is after the spawn, if they do spawn tomorrow morning, nice and early, we'll get up, try and catch it. If they do spawn, I'll be taking the filter, well, just turning the filter off, putting the airline onto this one, and setting this tank up exactly the same it is as this one, so I can transfer the fish after the spawn into this tank, and then we can watch this tank and make sure they're not getting ate by the Cardinal TETRAS. So join us tomorrow for that. If it works, fingers crossed. No reason why it shouldn't, because we are in a bit of a low pressure, not majorly low, but we are in a bit of a low pressure. Fish feels that pressure, thinks there's a rainstorm coming, and they tend to spawn. So all that's left to do tonight is feed them and come back tomorrow. So it's 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I'm up nice and early before the sun gets up. Switch the lights on, see if we can catch a little bit of breeding action.
I mean, to be totally honest, this is the first time, so there's a good chance it'll not happen this time. But I'll follow the procedure and see what happens. So even if it doesn't happen today, what I'm going to do, like I say, I'm going to follow the procedure. I'm going to take them out over the next hour, let them have a little bit of play around, see if they actually are going to spawn, put them into tank B, leave it for a few days, see if we can see anything free swimming after them couple of days. If not, put them back into tank A and repeat the process. That's all I can really do, and hopefully we'll catch a little bit today, but fingers crossed. What I'll do is I'll just scrub through this next part of the video, put it on fast, and we'll see if we can see anything. So while this is happening, I'll go and get a cup of coffee, get ready for work, and I'll join you later. So I'm going to be totally honest at this point, I didn't see anything. They seemed to be very interested in this bottom corner, and there was a lot of smashing going on there, so fingers crossed that's where it happened. Can't see it happening there because they like to do it over spawning media, but you never know. But like I said before, we'll just repeat this process over and over till it does work, because it does work this way. It's just number of possibilities why it hasn't worked. It might be these are just too juvenile, I need to fatten them up a little bit more before trying, or I've been missold them and I've got all males or females. That's basically what happened with the fire ant TETRAS. I believed I had at the start, because they were so small, I believed I had all females because they were like just a yellowish brownish colour, and then a few died, but then they all turned out to be males, and then I was struggling to actually get any more after that to continue with that project. So that's why we went back to basics with the Cardinal Terra. The good news is everything's in place. I mean, the Infusoria has took off really well. In the next couple of days that's going to be multiplied tenfold. So that's in place. what I'll have to do is obviously just keep a running stock of that, take some out of one tank, add some fresh vegetables into a new container, start the process again, and then just pipette it onto the spawning media, just so it's there, just in case there was anything.
So let's hope we got something from that bit of footage. It's now morning, sun's fully up. I've turned the pumps off just so we can hear how we shall talk. Now it's just a waiting game. See if we've got any action. All that's left to do now is to scoop these fish out, put them in the other tank, and hopefully monitor this for the next couple of weeks to see if we can see any fry developing. Hopefully. So stick it up. I'll come back for part 2. Sorry, it's early in the morning. Come back in part 2.